got must-see highlights from Toronto. Get Coach Woodson a win against his old squad. With KG back in his old stomping grounds, Boston was charged with the tall task of slowing down Kevin Love. Dwight versus Dirk. We've got the story from Orlando. Plus, Grizz Rockets, Bulls Pistons, Blazers Clippers, and much more. Game time starts now. Hello again, basketball fans, and welcome to Game Time, presented by State Farm. Rick Kamla with Rex Chapman and David Aldridge. We have a guy who used to just fill up that hoop with the Washington Wizards, and a man who covered him.
I did. I covered him from the minute he was traded for Tom Hammonds.
That's right. That's right. Tommy Hammonds.
Me and Bunnell broke that story.
I love it. I love it. Blasts from the past. And speaking of blasts from the past, we have a 12-game Friday to tell you about over the next 60 minutes. It was reunion night in the NBA. You have Kevin Garnett back in Minnesota. You have Chris Bosh back in Toronto. Drew Gooden back in Cleveland. And Mike Woodson back in Atlanta. But we start our show with the Dallas Mavericks in Orlando taking on the Magic. Both of these teams coming off blowout losses. Dwight 12-5 in Wednesday's loss. And Brendan Haywood back after missing 7 games with a knee injury. Dwight Howard missing. Orlando tapping it, keeping it alive. It's Earl Clark to Jameer Nelson for 3. Flash.
Love it. Love Jameer Strokes. What a gamer.
Now, Jameer Nelson and Jason Terry had a bet at over All-Star Weekend, and Jason Terry going sans headband and wearing low socks because he lost the bet to Jameer Nelson. It was a CrossFit competition over All-Star Weekend, and look at Hedo Turkoglu over there to the right. Does he look lonely?
We just have a problem getting in the huddle.
They sure do.
Magic.
It was Dwight the other night.
Yeah.
And it's Dirk doing what he does, splashing a 3. He had the Mavs within 3. And then watch Ryan Anderson dunk it down. Orlando led by 5. We go to the 3rd, and Rex, a little hustle from Dwight Howard.
Yeah, you got to love this. Dwight giving it his all. Whenever your big man runs like this to the rim, got to reward him. Oh, goodness gracious.
And wait till you see the low-angle replay. Look at the extension.
Wow, wow.
Incredible. And Jason Terry honors his bet with Jameer Nelson for only half the game.
It's a 24-minute bet. It's a short-term bet.
Back with the headband, back with the high socks, and it did inspire Jason Terry. And Rex, you got to stop ball.
Yeah, somebody get the ball. Come on. We learned that in the 3rd grade.
Jameer Nelson had 24, Orlando by 13, but they did not have the Mavs right where they wanted him. Jason Terry with the steal. Jason Terry. DA, I heard a tweet. Get him to the line.
To the line. You know Jet's going to come back. When he has the headband on, he turns into Superman.
He had 17. He brought the Mavs within 1, and the Magic turn it over. Jason Terry to Sean Marion.
Sean, the Matrix. You got to love him. What a game he had tonight, too.
15 points on 7 of 10 from the field. He tied the game at 89. Then it's Jameer Nelson. Ryan Anderson might have gotten away with a push to the back of Dirk, and he scores.
They didn't call it, so it's good. It's all good.
21 points for Anderson. It was all good for the Magic. They led by 4. Then it's Dirk to Delonte for 3.
Delonte, big game. A big game player. Never afraid of the moment. Game doesn't get too big for him.
He had 15 off the bench. Mavs down 1. And then it's Hedo Turkoglu denied by Jan Mahinmi. After the block, the ball comes to Delonte West. He would make both free throws to put Dallas up by 1. And another look at the defense by Mahinmi. Now, Jameer Nelson misses the layup, but he is fouled, so he has a chance to put Orlando up by 1, but he misses the free throw there with 26.9 to go. We're tied at 98, setting up Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk backs you down, says, hey, Hedo, have some of this.
What?
Off the glass, thank you.
What? Come on. Come on. The runner's hard enough going vertical or forward, but that's a backwards runner. Come on.
The Finals MVP in full effect. He had 28, but Orlando still had a shot for the win. Hedo Turkoglu off Ryan Anderson for the tie, and he missed it.
Oh, my God.
Rex, how did he miss that shot?
You lose sleep over that kind of shot.
How much sleep?
Oh, for weeks, maybe. That'll haunt him.
A one-footer.
Ryan Anderson needs a hug. Dallas wins 198. The Mavs get their 30th win of the year. They have won 6 straight in Orlando. The Magic are now 32-20. They are 4-5 in their last 9 games. Dirk Nowitzki goes for 28 points. What a performance by him. But Stan Van Gundy, after the game, lamenting the reasons why his team lost.
And then, you know, we had shots. You got to make some shots. We had some good open looks, and even at the end, I mean, you know, we got a free throw to go up 1. Well, we got 2 free throws to go up 1. We make 1 out of 2. We get a wide open 3 for Dirk, and we get a wide open putback for Ryan. I mean, you know, we executed well. I got no problem with that. You know, you got to get the ball in the basket. But the turnovers, to me, that and the free throw shooting is where the game is. And you know, I have a harder time yelling and screaming about the free throw shooting, but the turnovers, I just, until we get that under control, we have no chance to beat good teams on a consistent basis. None. You know, we had 4 turnovers at the half, so we score 55 points, you know, and then in the second half we have 12 turnovers. I mean, you're not going to win like that. You're just not.
And it's time to get to a better state, presented by State Farm. And Rex, Dirk Nowitzki went to a state that not too many of us can relate to.
Well, you can't guard that. I mean, come on, let's say what it is. Ryan Anderson, that's good defense. Hand in the face. You force a guy to take a shot like that and he kisses it off the glass? Come on. And he meant to kiss it. Don't make no mistake. He meant to kiss that ball off the glass. Wow.
Finals MVP wagging the tongue. And to get to a better state, presented by State Farm, go to NBA.com Smart Play for your chance to win great prizes. The Dallas Mavericks would like to win another great prize. They would like to win a second straight gold ball. DA, are you feeling them right now? 30-23, 7 games over 500?
You know, it's funny. Every like 4 games when I watch the Mavericks, I say, well, they're done. They don't have it this year. And then they have a game like tonight where you know it's still there. Look, I think for the Mavericks, it's all about their bench. And I think having Delonte West back is so huge for them. Backs up Jason Kidd, gives them quality minutes, ball handling, moves the ball, spreads the floor, will make shots, will defend you. Teammates love him, feel more comfortable when he's out on the floor. So you get him going. Terry, you know, 5 games out of 6 is going to be pretty good coming off the bench. So now it's up to Lamar Odom. To me, Lamar Odom is the key that puts them back over the top again. If Lamar Odom gives them what he has been giving the Lakers all these years, I think Dallas is a very difficult out because, to your point, you know what Dirk's going to give them. You know what the starters are going to give you. You don't know what the bench is going to give you. But if you get production like they got Friday night off their bench, you're going to be tough to beat.
Despite just 2 points from Lamar Odom, Dallas's bench outscores Orlando's bench 40-16. Dwight rebounds from the 12-5 game to a 19-15 game here against the Mavs. But Rex, it feels like the Magic are a little bit inconsistent, right? Yeah,
they look a little funky, a little out of sorts. You know, the Stan can complain about the turnovers and the free throws, but when the team's getting outscored like this from the bench, and we said it earlier, JJ with the triple couple, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. That's not going to get it done from the bench production.
And the shooting from the line isn't going to get it done either. 17 of 28 from the line for the Magic. The rare triple couple, authored up by J.J. Redick. Hey, when we return, we've got highlights of Josh Smith and the Hawks against Mike Woodson in the Knicks. That's coming up.
It's so good.
NBA Game Time, presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Former Hawks coach, now Knicks coach, Mike Woodson in the ATL on Friday. He used to coach Josh Smith. In fact, for 6 seasons, the Knicks 8-1 under Woodson. Trying for another victory. And it's Baron Davis to Carmelo Anthony. Knicks down 2. Josh Smith had himself another fine game. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and this and one.
Oh, goodness. I tell you, Hawks fans are getting their money's worth every night watching this young man play basketball.
DA, wouldn't you say that he makes Phillips Arena the highlight factor?
He does. What's Josh Smith's favorite city in New York? Flushing. That's right.
Very nice.
Does.
More Josh Smith. Wow. Here he is spinning.
I mean, this
laying it in.
Man, 6'8", 6'9", doing those things.
Oh, my goodness. Does it all. I really don't think there's anybody else in the league that has his skill set.
Ooh, what a catch.
I mean, at both ends of the floor. Can do everything at both ends of the floor.
Josh Smith added a block and 2 steals to his line. You know, Hawks fans don't want him shooting. They moan and groan every time he takes a J. Josh, we got you. That was Joe Johnson a moment ago with the floater. Josh with the turnover. Iman Shumpert the steal. He is fouled by Teague. Shump had 25. And after the free throw, the Knicks were down 7. Now, late third, Carmelo Anthony.
That's what Carmelo does. And not a man on the planet that can score the ball as easily as number 7 in blue.
The Mellow Man had 31 points through 3 quarters, and DA, he's at it in the 4th.
Well, you know, you can get him the ball, clear him out, especially now with all the injuries. They do have to go through Carmelo, and he played great.
He had a game-high 36. Jeff Teague, one of 3 steals. He slams it down. Hawks up 87-78. Teague also had 3 blocks. And here is Teague to Willie Green, 15 of his 20 in the 4th.
Willie Green came alive and really carried the Hawks in that 4th quarter. Happy for Willie.
Joe Johnson had a team-high 28, and DA, here he is, teardropping the Knicks.
Ooh, Joe's right. I mean, he's as good a player as there is in this league offensively.
And the Hawks beat the Knicks 100-90. The Hawks are 31-22. They snap a 3-game losing streak to the Knicks. The Knicks are now 26-26. Their 3-game winning streak is over. They're now 8-2 under Mike Woodson. Joe Johnson shot 10 of 20 for his 28 points in just over 39 minutes. And here he is after the game.
Joe, you didn't get to play against the Knicks in New York, but this time the Knicks come in as a Mike Woodson coach team. Did that help you sort of know what to expect tonight facing them?
No, we already knew what to expect, man. They're a great team. They're streaky, and we know they can get hot. And I thought we done a great job defensively, man, and guarding the 3-point line, getting stops and getting easy baskets.
When Mike Woodson was here and he coached you, what did he do to help your career as you were starting out?
He just gave me the freedom, man, to play. You know, he gave me the ball, told me to make plays, and that's what I tried to do.
Tonight, what did you guys do specifically? I mean, Carmelo Anthony had his way, but you really defended the rest of the team well.
Well, Carmelo's an exceptional player. We just tried to make it tough for him, but obviously, you know, he still got to the free throw line, made tough shots. But the guys around him, we wanted to limit them, and I thought we done a great job of that.
Finally, what is the mindset of this team? You guys 6th now in the East. This game right here ended a little losing streak. What is the mindset moving forward to finish the year?
We're just trying to position ourselves for a great spot in the postseason. That's it.
Tina Servasio of MSG interviewing Joe Johnson, a.k.a. Joe Cool. And Rex, in terms of the Atlanta Hawks, they like win 4 in a row, then they lose 3 in a row. Then they win 5 in a row. They're kind of an up and down team. Well, what is your perception of them as they head down the stretch?
Well, a tough break for them with Al Thornton going down. But
you mean Horford?
Horford, I'm sorry. Without Horford going down. But you said it, Joe Cool. As long as that guy, one of the more understated guys in the NBA and one of the more professional guys, love him. With him on the floor, with a talented Josh Smith, those guys have a puncher's chance every night, and they're a team you don't want to face in the playoffs.
And, DA, for the New York Knicks, Jeremy Lin missed his 3rd straight game with the knee. Amari Stoudemire missed his 3rd straight game with the back. They've been okay in these 3 games without them, Friday night's loss notwithstanding. Could this really become a problem for the New York Knicks going forward?
Well, I think so. You know, obviously Stoudemire, you don't know if he's going to be back for the playoffs. Even if he's back for the playoffs, he's not going to be in any kind of condition, really, I don't think, to help them very much in the postseason. So you're back to where you were last year in the playoffs, which is we got to get the ball to Carmelo, and he's got to score 1 million points for us to win. And that's tough. That's going to be tough for them. Now, having Barron there, you know, if Barron's healthy, Barron's still a guy that you have to account for out on the court. But it really shrinks their margin of error, I think, you know, because they have defended for Woody. They've played hard for him. But when you get in the playoffs, everybody plays hard. So that natural advantage goes away. I think Lin coming back could be very important for them just because he is an athletic back guard that really can score, you know, and they may need, they're going to need multiple people to score if they're going to win in the postseason.
But, DA, it sounds like a lot of ifs involving the New York Knicks. So we'll see how it plays out here over the next 3.5 weeks in the regular as we head to Cleveland for the Drew Gooden Bowl. Played 3+ seasons in Cleveland. Has 2 triple-doubles in his career, both against the Cavaliers. And this is Kyrie Irving, 4-3. Rex, he was 6 of 6 from downtown in this game.
Unbelievable. Guy's having a great year. Should just be a sophomore in college. What a player.
Monte Ellis to Ersan Ilyasova, 20 and 10 for him. And Milwaukee took a 25-19 lead. And then it's Epe Udoh to Brandon Jennings.
Well, I tell you what, Udoh is going to really help them, I think. I know he's not starting right now, but I think he's going to help them. His activity is going to really help them. He's going to get a lot of deflections, a lot of loose balls, a lot of second shots.
Udoh had 6 and 6 with 2 blocks in this game in limited time. And the Milwaukee Bucks on that Jennings bucket led 71-44 in the second quarter. We go to the third now. Drew Gooden did not have a triple-double in this game. In fact, not even close. 9, 5, and 2 for Drew. But that bucket put Milwaukee up 87-54, and here's Monte.
Monte is just some kind of scorer. I mean, you give that guy the ball. We talked about Melo being a true scorer. Monte's not far behind.
Monte had 13 in this one. Brandon Jennings led the Bucks with 28. They moved to 24 and 27 with the Knicks loss and their win. Now just 1.5 games separate these teams in the race for 8 in the East. And the Bucks are 3-0 against the Cavs this year. Speaking of the Cavs and the Knicks, you can see them Saturday as a part of a triple header on NBA TV. We start at 3:30 with the Hornets and Lakers. At 7:30, the Cavs and Knicks. And it's followed by the Nets at the Kings. It's coming your way Saturday on NBA TV. And when we come back, we're taking you north of the border to the Air Canada Center. Bosh, LeBron, and Wade did their thing against the Raptors. Details next. The Heat and the Raptors in the Chris Bosh Bowl. Bosh and Calderon talking before
bowl season here tonight. I noticed.
LeBron James taking some advice from a Raptors fan. Bosh had spent his first 7 seasons in Toronto. He had 10 points in the first quarter. Miami led 14-2. And then Chalmers with the miss. Wade with the putback.
Where did he come from? Looked like somebody dropped him out of the ceiling right about there.
The big three all went off in this game, by the way. Those of you looking for the fantasy goodies, got them. DeMar DeRozan with the J. He had 10 points in the first quarter. And Toronto's back in this thing, down only 5. And then Andrea Bargnani scoops and misses. Amir Johnson is there.
You know, Toronto's got they've got pieces. They've got some good pieces, and I think ultimately they're going to be a pretty good team in a year or two under Dwayne Casey.
The Raptors get the steal. It's Allen Anderson to DeMar DeRozan, and Toronto has come back to take the lead, 41-39 in the second, and then it's Wade dunking.
That crossover would just kill you. I mean, this guy just keeps getting better and better every year.
Bosh to James.
Freight train.
Anybody want to take a charge on that?
Not me.
LeBron James, the alley-oop to Wade. What a catch.
Yeah, absolutely, and a great pass. Those two making that kind of play tells you they're playing a lot together these days and learning each other.
Toronto down 6 until Andrea Bargnani cuts that lead in half.
Well, you know, ultimately, if they get Valanciunas back next year, their front court is going to be massive.
DeMar DeRozan, high off glass. He had 28, and we're tied at 76. 3:29 to go in the third. And then James Johnson, a game after suffering an illness and missing one, hits the 3. He had 9, ties the game at 89. Back comes Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, somebody guard him. Get up on it. Didn't even ripple the net there.
Miami up 97-89, and then James to Bosh for the exclamation point.
Great pass. And, you know, Miami, they have not been great on the road this year, but I was always told you win 3 out of 4 at home and you split on the road, you're okay.
Yeah.
And that's where they are. They've lost, what, 2 at home this year?
21-2 at home. They're now 16-11 on the road, which isn't that bad. I'm okay with that. 37-13 for Miami on the year. They've beaten Toronto 7 straight times. Bosh goes for 30. Wade goes for 30. James goes for 26. And Udonis Haslem missed this game due to personal reasons. And we now check in with Dwayne Wade after this victory.
We knew we was going to have a fight here. We knew we came in about 5 in the morning, so we wanted to come out and get a good start. We did that. We wasn't able to sustain it early. They played very hard, but I think we did what we needed to do in the second half, and that's run our offense, get stops and timely stops, and pull away.
I know this team went through a bit of a cold lapse recently. Where are you in the trajectory as opposed to last year?
We're a better team. You know, it doesn't matter. When we lose games now, we understand why. The biggest thing is catching yourself before you fall too far. And last year, we kept letting ourselves fall. So I think we've done a good job of that so far this year.
Dwayne Wade from Chicago, and so is Derrick Rose. And it's the Bulls hosting the Pistons in the Rip Hamilton. No, I can't give it the ball, D.A. He didn't play in this game.
He played, dressed, but he didn't play.
Rip Get Wilson. Joakim Noah to Luol Deng. Great pass.
Yeah, absolutely. You love that about Joakim. He's always been able to do that. Passes the ball very well.
Brandon Knight's pass stolen by Ronnie Brewer. Brewer to C.J. Watson, back to Joakim Noah. Watch C.J. Watson falls down on the sea, loses his shoe.
Your shoe? My shoe! Oh, help me, Jesus, Jesus, help me.
Brandon Knight, 16 points on 7 of 18 from the floor, hit a couple of threes, and that Jay brought the Pistons within 3 in the second quarter. Tayshaun Prince.
Tayshaun, lovely with the left hand. Love that guy.
Still don't know why he resigned to Detroit. I have no idea why he did that.
He had 14 points and 6 assists, and then the Bulls on the move. Carlos Boozer pays it off. Bulls up 44-35 at halftime. Hey, the Pistons are hanging.
Yes, they are.
They are.
Showing a lot of pride.
C.J. Watson filling in for Derrick Rose once again. The layup plus the foul. He made the free throw. Chicago by 10. Greg Monroe to Austin Day got the start. No Rodney Stuckey, no Ben Gordon for Detroit in this game. C.J.
Look how locked in they are. I mean, they're just playing so well.
Easy game when you pass the ball that freely.
Absolutely.
Luol Deng put the Bulls up by 6. More good ball movement leads to a bucket from Taj Gibson. Chicago up 73-61, and then Taj with a little hustle.
Yeah, you love it. That's what you're saying. These guys are just passing the ball to the open man, and when you play that way, you know, there's a lot of bad teams in this league right now that should take heed to these highlights. And see, the game's not that hard.
Brandon Knight with a pull-up Jay. And he brings the Pistons within 4 late in this ball game. We're under a minute to go now. Joakim Noah.
Give and go and go.
A dagger dunk from Noah. He had 19 and 12 with 4 assists and a couple of blocks.
How many assists did the Bulls have tonight?
They had 22 assists on 32 makes.
There you go.
Pretty good.
There you go.
Pretty good, as opposed to 15 assists on 31 makes for the Detroit Pistons. The final 83-71. Chicago moves to 42 and 11. They have beaten the Pistons 14 straight times, including 3-0 this year, and they're 23-0 when holding their opponent under 90 points. That's what it's all about for Chicago, is getting stops, holding their opponent down, and winning basketball games. And these teams came in, Miami and Chicago came into Friday separated by 3.5 games, so that separation still exists with both of these teams winning. Rex, you first. Who does home court advantage in the playoffs mean more to, Miami or Chicago?
Well, I think you look at their records right now, and you'd have to say that it probably does to Miami. You know, they've been terrific at home. They've had, you know, some struggles on the road, 16 and 11. But I think mainly the big thing for both of these teams is to be healthy, get to the postseason with health on their side, where they've got their guns ready and loaded, and just to march forward and try to trek right through the playoffs.
DA, what do you think?
I think this whole playoff thing for both of these teams comes down to Rip Hamilton's shoulder and his groin, whatever else is bothering him. Because I don't think Chicago can beat Miami 4 times without him. I just don't think they can score enough points. Miami locked in. They took everybody else out last year. They wore Derrick Rose into the ground, and he couldn't deliver in the fourth quarter of those playoff games. You bring in Rip Hamilton to run Dwayne Wade around a million screens for 7 games and see if he's got some legs in games 6 and 7. That's what you brought him here for. If he can do that, I think they have a chance, because Rip's going to score points. If he's on the floor, he's going to score, and he's going to also facilitate and pass the ball. But if he's not healthy, I don't think they can score enough points to beat Miami 4 times.
And speaking of not healthy, Derrick Rose is not healthy. Missed his 9th straight game with that sore groin, but the Bulls are 14 and 5 without him. It is amazing. And you know what? Kevin Garnett is amazing as well. Friday night, he went back to his old stomping grounds in Minneapolis, the Reunion Bowl, when we return. Before we get you to highlights of the Celtics and Wolves in the Kevin Garnett Bowl, we've got to tell you or show you what KG said to reporters before facing his former team on Friday night. KG said, quote, "It's always special to come back to true fans and your foundation, but as far as the franchise, I have nothing positive to say, so I'll just leave it at that. I think Kevin loves playing at a high level. I think he's rejuvenated the city as far as basketball goes. Other than that, nothing else," end quote.
Okay, then.
Kevin Garnett spent the first 12 years of his career in Minnesota. and Kevin Love in a battle of power forwards with the first name Kevin. It's Love against Garnett, and it's Love for 3.
This guy is just playing unbelievable basketball. Have we ever seen anybody do what he's doing right now? Ever?
I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, to go 30 and 20 and splash threes, I don't think it's ever been done. Kevin Garnett put Boston up by 13, and then DH, Derek Williams.
Well, you know, they got pieces, but obviously this team, since Rubio went down, not quite the same team.
Rajon Rondo got his dime on.
Come on.
Wow. Wow. Another Kentucky guy. Had to say it. Had to say it.
They're all over the NBA. You can't miss, Rex. Rajon Rondo, 12 assists in the first half, 17 in the game. Boston led 56-45 at halftime. Avery Bradley with the steal. Kevin Garnett, the one-and-done slam.
How about KG? Feeling good back in Minnesota.
Apparently not that happy to be back there, but nevertheless dunking on his former team. It's KG to Rondo.
He doesn't let things go. I've noticed that.
No.
You got to appreciate his honesty, man. You really do. Paul Pierce had 21. Boston up by 14. Watch Brandon Bass.
Ooh, good grief. Take that.
That's good Bass. Kids people over 40 got that joke. That's good.
That backboard is still shaking, by the way. And then Derek Williams comes back with another dunk.
Great catch, too. The guy has big mitts.
Derek Williams had 14 points. Kevin Garnett, another flush. That one in the face of Brad Miller.
KG's feeling well.
He felt good this morning when he got him, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Legs feel great. They look great.
Yeah.
Kevin Love is like the king of the one-handed rebound. How about the one-handed and one?
That's silly. That's just bully ball right there.
Speaking of bully ball, look at this. Yeah, have some of that.
Take that.
There you go.
That's just, you can't guard that. The guy's 7 feet tall and unfolding like that on his fadeaway.
And drawing charges like this on Derek Williams.
Great team D.
This is a serious thing. Now, Kevin Garnett and Steve Bulpett, who's a great writer at the Boston Herald, pointed this out. Kevin Garnett did not take a charge all of last season.
What?
0.
That's a great point.
In the last 2 games, he's taken 3 charges.
That's serious.
This tells me that this guy, just like Rex said, this guy is feeling good and is a little geeked about the postseason, I think, this year.
Yeah.
KG and the Celtics beat the Wolves 100-79. KG is 7-0 against his former team, and the Celtics have beaten the Wolves 10 straight times. The Wolves have lost 9 of the last 13, and it's time for the CINCO Stat of the Night, presented by Corona. And it's fat numbers with a PH.
Wow.
On Kevin Love. In the month of March, 16 games, he went 30.7 points, 13.8 rebounds, and he made 48 threes. It's the first time in NBA history that someone has led the league in these categories in a calendar month. So, Rex, you asked a moment ago, has anybody done what Kevin Love is doing? I don't think so. I really don't. I've done a little research on it. Maybe I need to do more, but the little research that I've done has not turned up another player in the history of the NBA that can put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers and splash threes.
I mean, it sounds so silly to say, that can put up Wilt Chamberlain type numbers. But come on, it is what it is. The guy is 31 and 14 and shooting threes like that. It's insane.
Kevin Love, we got a lot of respect for you, man. All right, so the Boston Celtics and 76ers came into Friday tied atop the Atlantic Division at 28 and 22. Evan Turner's like, we got to beat Wall and the Wizards to keep pace with the Celtics. Andre Iguodala back after missing 2 games with knee tendonitis and scoring.
Very nice play. Andre is just such a fluid player. You can tell when something's bothering him, like his knee was.
Here's John Wall, DA.
The quickness.
Wow.
And where did he go to school?
Oh, man.
Can't remember.
I can't go to the well too many times.
Don't stop now, Rex. You're rolling, baby.
Nice pass. Tell you what, the Wizards, since they got Nene, and Seraphin is coming on, I'm telling you, he's playing very well for them. But Nene just gives them, they're just a different team. Yeah. Because this mystery, you can throw the ball into the paint and actually score. It's a crazy thing, but that does happen.
That jumper put the Wizards up by 23. Unbelievable. I mean, Philly just did not bring it to D.C. on Friday night. Jordan Crawford did. He hits that 3, falling into the first row. He had 17 points on 7 of 17. DA, he is a volume shooter.
He is. He's a high volume shooter.
I love those guys. What are you talking about?
Cartier Martin was not a volume shooter. He was very efficient.
Terrific.
8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. He's the guy that made that last bucket. He had 20 points, tying a career high and helping the Wizards do in the 76ers, 97-76. Washington avoids the regular season sweep to Philly. Washington snaps a 5-game losing streak overall and a 5-game losing streak to the 76ers, who have now lost 6 of their last 9 games. And with their loss and the Celtics' victory, Boston is now first place in the Atlantic, and the 76ers are now 1 game back. Wow, Philly's been atop the Atlantic virtually all year long. A weird spot for them on Saturday when they look at the standings down below the Celtics. Now, the Denver Nuggets taking on the Charlotte Bobcats as Ty Lawson returning to his roots. We'll show you the highlights when we return. And we are back on Game Time, presented by State Farm. Rick Kamla, Rex Chapman, and David Aldridge. And coming into Friday's work, the Utah Jazz, Houston Rockets, and Denver Nuggets were in a 3-way tie for 7th place with identical 27 and 24 records. All 3 teams in action on Friday. We've got those highlights for you right now with the Nuggets and JaVale McGee in Charlotte taking on Gerald Henderson and the Bobcats. Our first highlight features Ty Lawson, 3 years at UNC, passing to JaVale McGee.
No!
Don't jump. Look out below.
Goodness.
He just put Bismack Biyombo on a poster, and he did it ruthlessly. DJ Augustine for Corey Maggette, who hit a 3, but he did not finish the game. Ended with 19 points, but a strained Achilles would bow him out. And then it's DJ Augustine trapped. They find Gerald Henderson for 3. Charlotte up 16-9. How do you like that, Rex?
Love seeing Gerald Henderson get minutes, and he's doing a lot of that and that right there. He's a highlight every night.
Ty Lawson to Kenneth Faried. Denver down 7, though. And then DA, it's Aaron Aflalo to Corey Brewer.
Brewer giving them some nice minutes here. With all the injuries, this is a very deep team. This is how they're going to stay in the playoff race, and he's going to help them too.
And one of the best risers in NBA history, Hall of Famer David Thompson, enjoying that jam by JaVale McGee.
Oh!
Good grief. Did he almost hit his head on the backboard there? I think he did.
Gerald Henderson had 21 points in 34.5 minutes. Third quarter now. Eduardo Nahara hits the jumper. And then DA bringing the D on the other end. Watch the steal.
Well, Nahara, I mean, look, he's been doing this for a long, long time in the NBA. A true effort guy, gives you great defense and great presence inside.
Kenneth Faried
Give me that.
with the rejection. Ty Lawson with the track down. Aaron Aflalo is a part of his 19-point, 11-rebound game. Denver by 9.
Kenneth Faried. Ty Lawson, I'm not sure anybody could have tracked that ball down that he caught just a second
amazing
ago.
speed?
Wow.
It's incredible.
Kemba Walker. That 3 made it a 10-point game. Kemba had 11 in the game. Reggie Williams driving here, cuts the lead to 8. DA, the Bobcats are hanging.
Played hard, you know. Paul Silas hasn't played hard, but unfortunately, you get to the last 4 minutes of the game and they can't do anything.
Ty Lawson going wherever he wants to go. 14 points, 10 assists for him. Denver wins 99-88. The Nuggets are now 28-24 overall. They're 9-0 when holding opponents to 91 points or less. The Charlotte Bobcats sink to 7-42. They've lost 6 in a row. We're moving to Houston. Rockets hosting Grizzlies. Marcus Camby starting for the ill Samuel Dalembert. And All-Star Marc Gasol returning after missing 1 game with a sore right ankle. We start the highlights with Marc Gasol knocking down a short jumper. Memphis down 7. And then Rex, it's a nice 2-man game between Chandler Parsons and Goran Dragic.
They've got a lot of nice pieces there in Houston. Kevin McHale's got to be really happy with the way this team is sustaining despite having starters hurt.
Kevin Martin out for the Rockets, filling in for him. Courtney Lee hit that 3. Houston up 11. O.J. Mayo, 3 of his own.
Well, you know, O.J. Mayo, he shoots a lot, but he makes a lot. So, you know, you live with what he can make. You live with him taking a lot of shots because he can really fill it up off the bench.
13 shots, 15 points for Mayo in this game. Tony Allen had 15 points, 7 rebounds. That layup tied the game at 48. We go to the third. Rudy Gay with the steal, and we fly away.
That's so beautiful. Rudy just plays the game so it looks effortless. I love to watch that guy play basketball.
He had 20, tied the game at 57. Wow. Goran Dragic dazzling the crowd at the Toyota Center. Houston by 4. Then it's Patrick Patterson to Chase Buttinger. He had 14. And it's an 8-point lead for the Rockets. D.A. Moore, Courtney Lee.
You know, again, Courtney Lee coming in for Kevin Martin, also not only playing well with Dragic, who he plays with on the bench, but integrating the other starters as well. It's very difficult to do.
O.J. Mayo's jumper brought Memphis within 3. They were hanging around, and then Goran Dragic is a part of his season-high 25-point night.
Everybody contributing for Houston. You love to see that. How deep are they?
Marcus Saul just waited and waited, and it came to him. He made it a 6-point game, but then it's Marcus Camby with the putback as a part of an unbelievable game for him.
Been doing it since 1953.
16 rebounds, 6 blocks, and 7 points in 36-plus minutes for Camby. What a trade for Daryl Morey and the Rockets to scoop him up on the deadline. And Camby helped the Rockets beat the Grizzlies again at home. 12 straight home wins for the Rockets over the Grizzlies. And we move to Salt Lake City. DeMarcus Cousins and the Kings taking on Devin Harris and the Utah Jazz. Last time these two teams met, March 22nd, DeMarcus Cousins just ran right into Devin Harris. Devin Harris says, yo, I didn't like that very much. And Cousins said, well, what you gonna do about it? Oh, my goodness. Then it's Isaiah Thomas.
No, not that one.
Oh, that's a tough shot.
There's some beef for you. Cousins and Jefferson.
Big Al hooking it home. He had 27 and 16. Then it's Travis Outlaw starting for the injured Tyreke Evans out with a back injury, and Dante Green flies in for the putback slam. We're tied at 69. Gordon Hayward.
Nice find there with the cutter. Hayward's a nice player.
He sure is, but on the play, he elbowed DeMarcus Cousins in the face and cut over his eye. Another look.
I think that's an offensive foul, I'm pretty sure.
Looked like an aggressive clear out right there, didn't it? DeMarcus Cousins actually got a technical foul on the play for arguing with the ref over the elbow from Hayward. And then we have Marcus Thornton for 3. Sacramento down 1. GA, you like Alec Burks, don't you?
I do. I mean, look, he started slow, but he's really come on of late. And again, Kevin O'Connor, you know, gets it done again. Another great piece to add to their already strong group of young players.
Big Al blocks Cousins, but Cousins stays after it, turns and scores, and we're tied at 101. Look at Cousins.
Relentless, staring down the official.
Got the Band-Aid on his eye. Here he is driving with a tie game. 3.8 to go. He is fouled. So DeMarcus Cousins at the line, a chance to put Sacramento on top.
Earl says he got all
pretty
ball.
Good to me.
Really tough call there, Earl.
Like a jump ball to me.
And DeMarcus Cousins almost airballs the first. I can hear Rasheed Wallace saying, ball don't lie. And then DeMarcus Cousins hits the second. Sacked by 1, 3.8. Hayward on the drive. Scoops and misses badly. Favors the tip. Jefferson the tip. It goes. But DA, after there were zeros on the clock.
It's late. You can see they get the first one up in time, but that doesn't go in, and it goes off the glass again. And there's the red. It's over. Ball game. Start the bus.
Kings win, 104-103. The Kings snap a 4-game losing streak, and the season series between these teams is over, tied at 2 games apiece. Utah saw their 7-game home winning streak snapped. So the Rockets and Nuggets win on Friday while the Jazz lose. So the Jazz fall below the playoff line for now. And DA, what is the latest with the new arena in Sacramento?
Well, I talked to George Maloof, one of the co-owners of the Kings, on Friday. And, you know, there's this big controversy about paying this $3.2 million in pre-construction costs. The family doesn't want to pay it. He reiterated that to me. He said it was a kind gesture for the league to step in and pay $200,000, but that doesn't change the family's mind. They don't want to pay it. They say as tenants, they should not have to pay that additional cost. In addition, AEG, which is building the arena, also has to put in $3.2 million. If for some reason the arena deal fell through, the Maloofs would have to pay back that $3.2 million to AEG. They're saying we're not going to do it, but they are committed to paying the more than $70 million that they said that they would pay toward the overall construction of the arena. They're saying this is just a snag.
DA, great stuff. And when we come back, we had a little brief off the court break there with DA. We get back on the court when we return. J.J. Hickson and the Blazers trying to light up the Clippers. Those highlights are next. No LaMarcus Aldridge for the Portland Trail Blazers, out with a left elbow sprain. J.J. Hickson starting for the Blazers against Blake Griffin and the Clippers. And here we go. Chris Paul to Blake Griffin.
Oh, it's really hard to stop.
Oh, good grief.
Now, DA and Rex, and ladies and gentlemen, if you like that dunk, you're going to love this one.
This was an all-season.
Oh!
Good grief. I mean, this angle, there's one angle from behind.
Oh.
That just, here we go. I mean, take a look at this. What? Oh, the extension.
And that's on DeAndre Jordan, number 4 in the NBA in shot blocking. And this is Chris Paul beating the buzzer with a scoop shot.
Come on. That is so good. He really is a great basketball player.
Yes, he is.
At the end of the first half, Paul did that. Clippers up 46-43. Let's go to the third quarter. More thrilling highlights. Blake Griffin to Randy Foye. Back to Blake.
End.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah, it ended that way.
He spiked that ball in the basket.
20 and 13 for BG. J.J. Hickson had even better numbers. Hits the J, tying it at 66. J.J. Hickson, 29 points and 13 rebounds.
Oh!
Wow. I mean, the Clips just could not stop the pick and roll all night long.
Raymond Felton set him up there. 2 off of his career high for Hickson. Chris Paul with the floater. Clippers down 2. Now we're inside of a minute to go. Randy Foye for 3. Clippers up 1.
Big shot by Randy Foye.
But DA, Jamal Crawford would have the answer.
Yeah, this is a terrible shot. That goes in!
14 off the bench for the difference. Jamal Crawford, Portland by 1, setting up Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, I mean, what can't this guy do? Just lovely. Shielded it, used his hip, used his shoulder, and lays it in.
He had 20 points, 14 assists. Clippers up 98-97, but DA, Portland wasn't done.
They had one more shot. This might have been a foul, but you know what? I'm okay with them not calling it. I mean,
Wesley Matthews wasn't.
He wasn't. Yeah, I know. Tough way to end, but I was okay with the game going that way.
And the Clippers win at 98-97. They get their 30th win of the year. They've won 4 in a row, and they win the season series against Portland for the first time since 2007. Portland is 2-8 in games decided by 3 points or less. We're off to Oracle. Golden State Warriors hosting the New Jersey Nets. And we start the highlights with Mikal Gladness lighting up Gerald Wallace. But trust me, folks, Gerald Wallace would laugh last. David Lee.
Oh, great play.
They just decided not to guard him on
The
that.
okey doke. The okey doke.
Not a good decision. He had 27 points on 12 of 16.
Oh!
That is Gerald Green. That alley-oop pass came from Jersey, didn't it, D.A.?
D. Will had a big night diming people up tonight.
Gerald Wallace had a big night as well. That was one of 6 steals to start that bucket for him. He had 24 points and 18 rebounds, also 5 assists. Charles Jenkins for 3.
Oh!
He had 18 points and 12 assists. GSW up 98-94. Back comes Gerald Green.
Gerald Green, look out below.
Oh.
Wow. Live legs, young legs.
None like him, is it?
He tied the game at 100, and then Gerald Green puts the Nets up 102-100. Feeling you, Gerald Green. Now, Charles Jenkins trying to tie the game, and Gerald Wallace says, nah.
Bad idea.
Yeah, that was not good play design.
Ill-conceived.
Avery Johnson and the Nets will take it. They win 102-100. The Nets get their 18th win. They snap a 6-game losing streak against Golden State in the Bay Area. First win there since 2005. And for Golden State, they've now lost 4 in a row. And look at Deron Williams. Not only does he have the NBA season high in scoring with 57, but DA, he shares the NBA season high in assists with Rondo with 20.
Yeah, he hasn't had a great year, but when he's been good, he's been real good.
Absolutely. Terrific player. I'd pay to see him play.
And it's game time, presented by State Farm. We are back to wrap our fine program right after this. USA Basketball announced on Friday the first 11 players for the 2012 U.S. Women's Olympic team. Coach Gino Auriemma has this talent at his disposal. And still one spot to go, gentlemen.
I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest Brittany Griner, maybe?
Could be a very good selection. So we'll be watching as that unfolds as we look ahead to the 2012 Summer Olympics in London. But We've got to check the Eastern Conference standings before we get out of here. Look at Orlando. Their lead over Indiana in the quest for third place in the East shrinks to just 1 game. Boston is now 4th. They now lead the Atlantic Division. Philly sunk from 4th to 7th on Friday with their loss and the Boston victory. And we take a look at the Western Conference. And look at Dallas. They leapfrogged Memphis. They came in to Friday in a virtual tie. Dallas now 5th, Memphis now 6th. And Houston, Denver, and Utah came into Friday in a tie for 7th. Houston and Denver win. They're above the line. Utah loses, and they fall below the line, at least for now. Time for our retweet. And it comes from Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert, who said, "One of those nights where I can't find the words to match the emotions, friends, at least non-profane words. Cavs fans deserve better, much better." I would think that you guys would agree with that comment.
Yeah, you know, he's a passionate guy. He's a passionate guy just trying to put an arm around his fan base. I don't mind it.
It's fine.
It's the retweet before we go. That's all it is. Hey, I've had a blast out here with DA, Rex, and you out there at home. This is Game Time presented by State Farm. Y'all, we'll see you soon.